Hello, colleagues. Welcome to Business Decoding, a Decode podcast which decodes the business. Dear friends, today we have advocate Mr. Veer, who is a wonderful advocate and practice in High Court and Supreme Court. Welcome, Veer, to our show.
Hi. Thank you.
Today I'll ask Veer about some exciting stuff and decode the entire business which he is doing as a lawyer. As a lawyer, we face many challenges. So we'll ask him about the biggest failure. I like to tell my failure also when I was a kid. I have stolen once money from my father's pocket. He was so upset that he beat me in front of all the kids in the house. After that day, I have learned the lesson. This failure have made me wonderful in life. So Veer, over to you. What is the biggest failure you have seen in your life?
So, failure, yeah, you can call it somewhat, failure as a student in school. I was a very naughty kid. काफ़ी शैतानी करता था स्कूल में मैं. So, I think in class 9th, after class 9th, when I was about to go to class 10th, I was rusticated from my school. Because I got into some serious trouble with the faculty and काफ़ी ज़्यादा शैतानी करता था मैं. तो मतलब घर वाले ऐसे तो काफ़ी सपोर्टिव थे, बट देन इस बात ने थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब कर दिया था कि 10th में यूजुअली कोई स्कूल चेंज नहीं करता अपनी, बट देन आई हैड टू शिफ्ट टू अ स्कूल, आई हैड टू चेंज माय बोर्ड, restart the curriculum. It was just the last year of school, and then that taught me to be more disciplined in life. That taught me to take things more seriously and not take everything so lightly and so casually. To a certain extent, at least, I think that has changed me. That is one event in my life that I can call that that motivated me to do better in life, and then to show everyone that even you can at least do something and just not be a naughty kid.
So wonderful. Can you believe just by simple decoding, a rusticated child can be a lawyer, that too of Supreme Court. So that's about the decoding. So one more thing I want to ask you, Veer. When you practice, you're not allowed to promote your business, because मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि lawyer एक ऐसा profession है जिसको आप promotion नहीं कर सकते. तो आप कैसे अपने clients लेके आते हो और कैसे establish होता है एक lawyer?
सिंपल फंडा ये है, अगर आप अपना काम ईमानदारी से करते हो, अगर आप अपने क्लाइंट को डिज़ायर्ड रिजल्ट देते हो, तो प्रमोशन की ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ती. So the entire profession is simply based on one word, that is trust. Your client should trust you that if I'm assigning him my work, he's going to be 100% dedicated to his job. The judge in the court should trust you that whatever is coming out of his mouth, whatever is falling from him is accurate, it is true, there is no misrepresentation. Because in the end, apart from being advocates and being advisors to our clients, we are officers of the court as well. We have to maintain the utmost integrity, dignity and honesty and truthfulness before the court, even when we are representing our clients. So ये दो चीज़ें अगर आप ध्यान में रखें and you keep working hard, so then the work keeps flowing. You satisfy one of your clients, he'll recommend you to 10 people and the chain goes on.
Amazing answer, amazing thought. Tell me one thing, so many businessmen view our channel and so many people see us. So tell me one thing, how much time it takes to become a lawyer?
So to become a lawyer officially, it takes either 3 years if you're pursuing your law after graduation, or 5 years if you're pursuing your law after class 12. And then after you get your degree, you can practice, and then there's this All India Bar exam that you have to clear, and you get your sanad, and then you can practice. So it takes 3 to 5 years. That's it. Yeah.
So एक lawyer बनने के pros और cons क्या हैं?
पहली बात तो to enter into the profession, the one thing that is very important is that you should love your job. If you don't love what you're doing, तो इस प्रोफेशन में मुझे नहीं लगता, एटलीस्ट इनफैक्ट इन लिटिगेशन कोई टिक सकता है, because it's not very financially rewarding in the initial years. There's a lot of struggle involved. There's going to be a lot of times that you won't get paid to even appear in court. But then you have to look at it from a perspective that you're getting an opportunity to stand before a judge, and say something. People are going to see you. So yeah, अगर let's start with the cons first. तो जैसे मैंने अभी बताया कि many junior lawyers, they don't get really paid well. They have to work for as good as free, मतलब उनके आने जाने का खर्चा भी नहीं निकलता, बट करना पड़ता है because they want to learn things. It is the initial years should be focused only and only on learning. The more you learn, the more you learn in future. Then coming to the pros, it's one of the most exciting professions, I must say, especially litigation. People who are in litigation, because they get to deal with something new every day. Even in a day, you can deal with like 10 different cases, you know. So that's the beauty of it. Like it's not really of a monotonous nature. It's something very exciting, very thrilling. And a lawyer's job is not just restricted to the court. We have to act as a counselor sometimes, especially in matrimonial matters. We have to go to the police station to help out our clients. We have to liaise between two people, try and get them to settle their disputes amicably, act as an arbitrator, as a counselor, So yeah, there are multiple hats that you get to don as a lawyer. So that's another pro. That's about it. Yeah.
So tell me one thing.
Yeah.
Exciting तो सब पूछते होंगे. Which are two most disturbing case in your career till now?
Chalo, I'll start with one. So this was a matter wherein I was representing a client who was when the matter came to me, it started off as a matrimonial dispute. It was a matrimonial dispute and I was representing the husband. And the husband was in fact at a very senior position in a company. He was senior vice president of a very big multinational company, a very reputed guy. Even the wife was a working lady. She was working with one of the most leading media houses in the country. So, both of them were really well off, and it was a love marriage. But with time, things had fallen apart and they wanted to go their own ways. But the problem is, जैसे जैसे टाइम बीतता गया, डिवोर्स के साथ साथ फिर क्रिमिनल एलिगेशंस के साथ डाउरी एलिगेशंस, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एलिगेशंस, फॉल्स एलिगेशंस, And the last straw in this case was that, unfortunately, a 6-year-old child was made to file a false POSCO complaint. POSCO, if you must not be aware, it's a law that has been enacted for, protecting the children against sexual offences.
Yeah.
She was made to file a false complaint against her father, and I was defending the father. And luckily, we got bail by the Honorable High Court. So it was one of the case. That really, I'm not say use the word traumatized me, but then it, shook me from within, My ideals about the whole concept of love, marriage, children, family, तो थोड़ा सा हिल गया था मैं अंदर से ये मैटर करते हुए.
So you're married now?
No. Not
Are
yet.
you in that trauma?
कह सकते हैं, but then yeah, let's see. I don't know.
Okay, so आपसे मैं एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ. अभी जैसे ही OMG2 अनाउंस हुई, so हमारी फैमिली में सबने ये सोचा कि हमने OMG1 बहुत पहले देखी थी, तो हमने डिसाइड किया कि आज हम सब लोग कुछ नहीं करेंगे. विल कीप आवर फोन्स ऑन साइलेंट मोड एंड विल वॉच OMG1. हमने OMG1 देखी और हमने देखा कि जो मेन हीरो है वो जाके केस खुद लड़ रहा है और दिखाते हैं जैसे फिल्मों में कि वो केस लड़ रहा है, वो कुछ भी बोल रहा है और वो कोई भी एलिगेशंस लगा रहा है, वो कोई लॉयर हायर नहीं करता है, वो खुद ही केस लड़ता है अपना. तो क्या जैसा फिल्मों में इतना ग्लैमरस और इतना दिखाया जाता है, क्योंकि मैं भी अपने इंडियन कोर्ट्स में गया हूँ, वहाँ चीज़ें बिल्कुल टर्न अराउंड होती है. सो हाउ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन दिस?
Partially it is true. Any individual can fight the case on his own behalf. Like he can, without engaging a lawyer, he can represent his case in the court before law. He's permitted to do so. Or even he can, assign a power of attorney to any individual who is not a lawyer to represent him on his behalf. Not in the capacity of an advocate, but just as a representative. तो ये बात तो सच है कि आप खुद अपना केस लड़ सकते हैं अगर आप एक लॉयर अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते तो. बट ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी जितना ज़्यादा ड्रामेटिक चीज़ों को दिखाया जाता है, मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि बिल्कुल ड्रामा नहीं होता. कोर्ट्स में भरपूर ड्रामा होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा ड्रामा होता है. इनफैक्ट the lower the court, the more dramatic things get. Because in High Court and Supreme Court, you just have to stick to the point and, just short में आपको अपना एक काम करना है, और because the court doesn't have that much time. But in lower courts, it is somewhat dramatic, but not that dramatic. And इतने फास्ट चीज़ें नहीं होती है. वो पिक्चर 3 घंटे की है, इसलिए उनको उसमें पूरा ट्रायल ख़त्म करना है. यहाँ जो है आपके 10 से 15 साल तक निकल सकते हैं. Then things take time at their own pace.
अब मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछूंगा जो बिल्कुल एकदम रिवर्स है. क्या एक जज या एक लॉयर पे भी केस हो सकता है? और अगर वो केस होता है और वो इतना एडवर्स है या उनके ही अगेंस्ट जा रहा है पूरा, क्या उनको इंडियन लॉ परमिट करता है पनिश करने का, जेल में डालने का और उनकी पोजीशन से हटाने का?
एब्सोल्युटली. बिकॉज सी इन द एंड जज हो, देश का प्रधानमंत्री हो, कोई स्टेट का CM हो, कोई भी हो, in the end all of us are equal citizens in the eyes of law as per the Indian Constitution. हम सब समान हैं as citizens. So if anyone is convicted for any crime, he has to face the same consequences. Obviously there are certain privileges people holding an official position have, like say for instance that a police inspector is, you know, with a licensed revolver, in the course of his duty if he has to shoot someone, so the, you know, the level of punishment will vary on the facts and circumstances of that case.
ऐसी कोई चीज़ जो आप बिल्कुल ताल्लुक नहीं रखते हैं और आपको बिल्कुल भी पसंद नहीं है अपने इंडियन लॉ में, बिकॉज आपने और भी, जब आप लॉयर हैं तो आप देखते हैं कि इंटरनेशनल लॉ कैसा चल रहा है और जो आप चाहते हैं अपनी वॉइस में कि वो इंडियन लॉ में चेंज हो एज पर यू?
देखिए, इंडियन लॉ पे एज सच मैं कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करना चाहूँगा. व्हाट आई वुड रियली लाइक टू सी इन आवर कंट्री इज दैट देयर शुड बी स्पीडी जस्टिस. Justice should not be delayed. The number of courts that are there, they should increase. The number of judges should increase because the workload is so tremendous कि एक जज चाह के भी fast काम नहीं कर सकता. Even if he is working say 16 hours a day, he won't be able to finish all the cases, you know, जितने टाइम में वो होनी चाहिए. Yeah, I mean, but it's about the demography of our country, you know, the number of people we have compared to other developing countries, developed countries such as the US, Canada. Their population is not even like half of us, half से भी कम population है, and the resources are much wider.
अच्छा, मुझे लास्ट चीज़ बताइए, एक लॉयर का ROI क्या होता है? मतलब वो लॉ करता है, ग्रेजुएशन करता है, उसके पेरेंट्स उसको एक लॉयर बनाते हैं, तो उनका रिटर्न कब आता है और हाउ अ लॉयर प्रोग्रेसेस? बिकॉज मैंने कोई ऐसा बहुत हाई एंड, मतलब कुछ लॉयर्स तो हम देखते हैं हमारे देश के जो बहुत सेलिब्रिटी लॉयर्स हैं, बट जो नॉर्मल लॉयर्स हैं दे लीड अ नॉर्मल लाइफ.
So to be very honest, you know, the only ROI in law is your experience, your knowledge. जितना आपका knowledge बढ़ता है, जितना आपका experience बढ़ता है, उतना आप progress करते हैं, उतना अच्छे से आप काम कर सकते हैं, उतने अच्छे से आप अपने client को जो है अपनी services deliver कर सकते हैं. You can try and get him justice. So that's the only return on investment.
So he is, I think, restraining in terms of telling us how a lawyer earns and how much he earns and how he progresses.
It's very subjective, you know. It's very subjective from lawyer to lawyer, case to case. अब जैसे धंधे की बात करो, अगर आप बिजनेस की बात करो, तो as a lawyer there would be tens of hundreds of cases that you must be handling. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10 में से सिर्फ 2 ही केसेस ऐसी होगी जो आपको मोटा पैसा दे के जाएगी. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप वो 8 केसेस छोड़ दो, क्योंकि वो जो 2 केसेस है वो कहीं ना कहीं उन 8 की वजह से ही आपके पास आने वाली है. यू नो, यू हैव टू कीप वर्किंग, डोंट से नो टू एनीवन. जितना हो सकता है काम करो, यू नो. और एक बार अगर आप किसी के लिए हाँ बोल दो काम करने के लिए, देन आपने जिस भी अमाउंट पे अग्री किया हो, काम उतने ही अच्छे से करो. अगर आपने एक, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर एक केस के लिए आप 10 लाख चार्ज कर रहे हो और एक केस के लिए आप 1 लाख चार्ज कर रहे हो, योर कमिटमेंट, योर डेडिकेशन टुवर्ड्स दैट क्लाइंट शुडंट चेंज बिकॉज ऑफ द फीस दैट ही इज पेइंग. दैट इज व्हाट आई बिलीव इन.
मैंने कई बार देखा लॉयर्स फंसाते रहते हैं, मतलब एक चीज़ पे फिर दूसरी चीज़ बोलेंगे, वहाँ पे दे टेक द मनी, फिर दूसरी चीज़ बोलेंगे, देन दे टेक द मनी. सो इसका कोई एंड हमारे सिस्टम में मुझे नहीं दिखता. ऐसा सच है?
ये वही वाले लॉयर्स जिनके बारे में आपने कुछ देर पहले बोला था, हु लीड अ वेरी ऑर्डिनरी लाइफ. क्योंकि ये छोटी मोटी, यू नो, आई वुड लाइक टू यूज़ द वर्ड, यू नो, लाइक चिंदी चोरी है कि और कुछ नहीं है. यू, जैसे मैंने पहले बताया आपको, द एंटायर प्रोफेशन इज ओनली बेस्ड ऑन वन थिंग, दैट इज ट्रस्ट. Once the client loses trust in you, he is gone forever. और वो और 10 लोगों में जाके आपकी बदनामी करेगा कि यार काम करने में मज़ा नहीं आया. So yeah.
So thank you very much, Veer. Thanks a lot for coming. Amazing talking to you. I'll request my entire guest, people who are watching this, if you want to ask anything from Veer, just leave your comment below. We'll make sure we are making you get in touch with Veer directly. Thank you.